Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. So while it's still Thursday night in the US, it is Friday morning in the UK, and this is the day that they celebrate the guy who tried to blow up the parliament.
Oh boy.
A good old Catholic rebellion. I was just
So
watching
happy Guy Fawkes Day. Somehow that doesn't seem an appropriate thing to say, but
So I want to say something really quick. Purple, I saw something on your Twitter where someone from Australia was saying like, "Hey, Americans have all these atrocities too. If you live in the Western world, we all have blood on our hands, okay? We all do. We have obscure holidays, you know, all of us. No one's innocent."
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in the US, but we don't make it a national holiday. We don't have a holiday about the guy who used a fertilizer bomb to blow up a government building. We don't do that here.
No, not even for John Brown. Is there a John Brown Day? Harper's Ferry? No.
I don't know. There should be.
I was thinking about that because I saw that on Twitter, and I'm like, you know, it would be a valid argument if we all didn't come from repressive regimes. We all do, you know. I know where I'm from. I know what my country does to people and what they do to their own people, you know. But back to the Catholic rebellion.
Yay!
Hey, Junie. Hi, B. Hi, Stool. Everybody in the
Stool, get in here.
Oh.
Actually, I don't see anybody in the side chat who shouldn't be in there. Let's see, we've got, well, that being said, got B and Stool so far, and there's Antjer.
Oh boy, hi Antjer. Yay.
So it makes me laugh though, but the British are awesome though that they can celebrate the fact that, you know, they defeated this guy. But they also, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but like if you've ever seen Sink the Bismarck or Rommel, man, those are English made movies. In Rommel, they make you feel sorry for him at the end of the movie. And those are all English actors, you know. They loved portraying their enemies.
Well, there is a thing about Europe in general. I think you'll find that, you know, through England, France, Germany, Spain, you know, that they didn't have a problem admitting that they respected the people on the opposing side during the war.
Yes. And how many Dunkirk, and I watched Dunkirk last night on HBO for the first time. How many Dunkirk movies have been made, you know?
Yep. I can't even count them anymore.
You know, so we celebrate weird holidays.
What you got on the screen back there?
Foreign Correspondent.
Oh, okay.
Alfred Hitchcock. I'm really, really into Alfred Hitchcock. And I am always moving stuff around, but I had to move that TV because everything has earthquake straps on it. But that TV didn't have earthquake straps on it, so I had to put some straps on it. It had to be
Have
lower.
you gotten shaken up lately?
No, but I don't want to lose everything with the shit because I have so much equipment in here. I'm constantly trying to protect it because one shaker could ruin this entire room.
So what? You have to screw everything down because the earthquakes might throw it onto the floor. Is that it?
Yeah, and it's more the old school TV because these are becoming more and more prized because ever since COVID started, they're not selling these anymore because people are keeping them now, especially nerds like me who have multiple gaming systems.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently the flat screen TVs don't respond right with some of the like old 8 and 16-bit gaming consoles.
It's literally Mario on acid. Mario's floating around like it's hilarious.
Really? Is it literally? Well, is it literally?
Actually, I knew that would get you out of your
The one I heard about was like
Okay.
the Duck Hunt, the games that had the gun you pointed at the screen that somehow because of the way it scans, they don't pick up the position on the screen correctly.
I have a hillbilly Duck Dynasty version of it, and it's the same thing. It only works on the older televisions.
Oh, hey, Facty. How are you doing? And we have B joining us.
How's it going, B?
Hi,
There's a bee over there. Yay.
hi, Lady Di. Hi, Perps. Hi, Will. Hi, Stool. How the fuck are you, wonderful people?
Lovely, as always.
You know
Beautiful.
what, Lady Di?
Yes, dear.
That is not ladylike.
I know.
All right, so back to the Catholic conspirators trying to take over the UK.
Oh God.
I just said the funniest thing ever, but I was muted. Fuck.
Stool, that happens to me all the time. I'll come up, I'll pop off with some shit,
Wah.
and then yeah, thank you, Purple. That's exactly what it is. Fuck that wah wah wah. How you doing, Stool?
I need to. Am I getting the reference correct here? Are you talking about
No.
Charlie Brown?
I'm talking about Guy Fawkes.
Oh, the
Well,
wah
no,
wah wah wah. Yes,
Wah,
that's
wah,
Charlie
wah,
Brown.
wah. Yeah. That's
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of a classic, like cartoon sound
Yeah,
when something
It's
goes
just
wrong.
a cartoon sound for when things wilt instead of exploding.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
That's a cool noise that I really want to have now because I'm so sick of wah, wah, wah right now.
Right.
Mhm.
You can get that, man. Like it's funny because if you find a cartoon that has a sound you like to it for that, look for it in that because every cartoon has its own little sound to it.
Mhm.
It changes with each cartoon, pretty much.
It was very funny though, wasn't it? Wah, wah, wah. I can't do it,
Yep.
but it was funny.
Wah 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 wah.
Sloth Girl does it best.
No, the noise that I think B's on the wrong avenue here. The noise that the lady teacher made.
Oh, sure. The wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
I talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
I say half the people talking are Charlie Brown's teacher.
that's not what Purple meant, though. She meant it was like a fail.
Right. They're similar.
And when you say
but
it's
they
a
are not
fail,
the same.
it's a wah wah wah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
I
Wah,
joined
wah,
late.
wah.
I joined late, and I'm here under
You're
duress.
functional.
I did not want to be here.
I'm
I'm only here because of one reason. I heard Will, and he's talking about things that he has no authority to talk about.
You know what's funny about English people? No
Dude,
one
I'm-
says we had this conversation last night.
I'm fucking
You're-
English,
you're-
Will.
That means nothing anymore. Your country was taken over. Remember? Sign the contract here.
Colonizer.
Historical irony.
Oh shit, yeah.
Historical
I'm
irony. You
so
guys are now
sorry.
property of America. We had this whole conversation last night.
Yeah, I accidentally
So-
colonized
What did
somebody
we do?
last night.
Call in our war debt?
Right.
Oh, let me see if I can.
Did you know that
the,
to this day, there is only one country in the world that has ever repaid its debt from World War II?
I know the
You
answer.
know what country that is?
Yeah, I know the answer. Yeah.
No.
what,
I'm
Liechtenstein?
right.
That
That's
we're
Stool's
quiet
wrong.
now.
No, Stool is never wrong.
Okay, so what do you think it is?
Seriously, Purple, did you just say that? I'm never wrong. You know me.
Yep. But you got this one wrong. What do you think it is?
I think I know the answer, but I want you other people to play first.
Canada.
Yeah, Facty said Canada also. That's not it.
was
New
no-
Zealand. I was reading the chat. I missed the entire question.
No.
I believe him.
Diana,
Sorry,
you have a
guys.
guess?
Fucking
Oh
Adderall.
man, Liechtenstein. No.
No, but it's good. Okay, Stool, what's your guess?
I've forgotten the
Fox says
question now.
Lithuania.
Can we do the question again, please?
What is the only country in the world that has fully repaid their war debt from World War II to the U.S.?
Or to the US?
Facty, Antarctica's not a country.
Lithuania.
Fuck.
I'm gonna take a real guess, and I'm gonna
Austria.
I'm gonna take a real guess of India.
I'm gonna go controversial here.
Uh-oh.
I'm so shocked, Stool.
It's so unlike Stool.
Mr. B just did the cheekiest fucking laugh face ever. What is? Are you totally so in love? Fucking hell, what is wrong with you?
I am, man. I am. I can't help it.
I'm gonna
Just
go.
I grin all the time. I wake up in the morning, my cheeks are sore, and then I start grinning again. And it's just like this all day.
Never wake up with sore cheeks, Will.
Oh, it's great, man.
I'm going to go controversial because I think it might be drum roll.
Oh, wait.
I forgot you were even answering a question. Kev,
no, Mac, Facty tried that one. It didn't work.
I think it's Germany.
Nope. Finland.
Finland.
Oh.
Finland is the only country who has repaid everything we sent them.
Who'd have thunk?
What did they get? $73.14?
Yeah, 2 hammers.
Yeah.
Well, the odd thing about it, though, was we were giving Finland guns to shoot at Russia, who was supposed to be our allies.
Yeah. Huh?
Well, to be fair, we've started every war that we've tried to stop. Why were we in Afghanistan? Why were we in Afghanistan for the 4th time?
Yeah. Afghanistan is
shit, right? Will
literally for the 4th time.
Will is boring. Afghanistan is boring.
Charlie Wilson, 1982.
Does that mean anything to you, Stool?
That's sorry. That's American history.
I switch off when Will talks. So I know for a fact. I say a fact. I'm using air quotes. That we in this country, this stupid country that I live in, I think we only fully repaid our debt to America in about 2003, I think it was.
Where's my other phone?
I don't think it was ever fully paid off, even though we gave you like incredible terms.
That's the BS they tell you guys so you can sleep at night.
You sound like a
do you know how the Lend-Lease program in World War II worked?
Purple, you're sounding like a banker. Why are you selling this? It happened in the past.
Yeah.
What's all this? We gave you favorable terms shit.
Okay, in 1939, the U.S. lent the British 50 destroyers on indefinite loan, most of which got destroyed and we never got them back.
You're so pissed off about this.
They lent us 1 aircraft carrier for 6 months, and we called that. The Victorious operated with the American fleet for 6 months, and we considered that repaying the 50 destroyers they got wrote.
Is this something that you think about often, Purple?
Not a whole lot. Mostly it comes up when I'm playing the game.
The UK still owes America $368 billion. I would like that in 20s, please.
Now, Will, don't kill the paper plants over there.
That'd be one hell of a trip.
Take them in hundreds.
Hey, that'd be one hell of a trip to the casino. I would revitalize the economy in 30 minutes.
Right?
Big bet.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that if you break that down evenly between, all the American citizens? How much do we each get?
We'd be walking around with bowlers on.
Right.
Be a lot of money.
Wait a minute, 300 billion is the total?
368, I think he said.
Okay, and we have 300.
So that's about $1,000 each.
No, we're almost to 400 million Americans, so we're at 300 million around there, in between 300 million and 400 million Americans right now. That's why other countries outnumber us like literally 20 to 1.
400 million Americans. What are you including the entirety of North America?
No, that's 300 million to 400 million.
Okay, Google says about 330 million Americans.
Exactly.
So, and what was the wait a minute, Will, what was the number you gave for how much was owed?
380. Oh, now I gotta go back.
Sorry, man. I forgot what you said.
It was like
368 billion.
I was right, 368 billion. So we all get that's a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, we get $1,000 and some change.
This is so not a true thing.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. It would be like $3 million.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we all be wearing bowlers. We don't be wearing bowlers.
I see what you're trying to do here, Will.
Like 4 million each, wouldn't it? But yeah, right, Will? Something like that. A lot.
Pick on the British guy. Listen, I owe you fuckers nothing.
My son is doing
we
homeschool.
own it, bitch.
I feel look at Australia too. Australia, France is mad at him because France wanted to own Australia, and now we own Australia. When you get a military contract with America, you're done. Pretty soon, you guys are gonna have to start paying for your medicine like Americans. I feel sorry for you.
Oh damn!
I'm
Will,
not
don't
even
do
trying
that
to be
shit.
mean. No, I feel sorry. Like the
No,
truth
it does
hurts.
suck though.
My mom's always say it in Spanish, but la verdad es un canse. The truth hurts.
The truth hurts. Yeah, there you go. Say it again. La
verdad es un canse. That's like the truth is pain.
La verdad es un
canse.
Cante.
Okay. Looks like
Well,
oxygen.
I like
math.
it. I'm gonna look that up and practice it. No, that's
Here you
not
go.
right.
That
There's
works.
no way.
There's
no way.
That's okay. I can still buy a bowler for that much.
Mr. B, I just need to emphasize a point you just made.
Yeah.
Now that you're happy and you have a special friend, always look it up and practice it.
Buddy. Go ahead, what?
Always look it up and practice it, because practice makes perfect.
Dude, that's the good thing is I got lots of practice previous, so I
know, because you're a filthy pervert.
Okay, practice makes perfect. There's no
I was about
such
to say
thing as
shit.
perfection, so it doesn't matter how much you practice, does it?
I'm still waiting for someone to ask me that question. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. Greatest quote of all time.
Yeah, Will, I doubt many people are going to ask you that in Los Angeles.
Oh, no, I'm going to go to New York and just stand there in front of Carnegie Hall. And I draw attention like a mother trucker. I was not kidding. I went to go pick up my mom at good old Burbank Airport, and they walked up to her. Like 3 security guards surrounded her, and they were like, "Do you know this guy?" And she was like, "Yeah, this asshole's here to pick me up." Oh, that man! I stick out. Especially with the mask on. I look like the Lone Ranger with my cowboy hat on.
You advertise it with the patches on your jacket. You advertise it.
Well,
Seriously,
I have a denim mask. See, but the thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
The thing is that like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm just a bit darker than everybody else. That's all. That's the only difference. Like, there's lots of people wearing patches. Like, especially in LA, you get crust punks, bikers. You know, we got every kind of MC you could possibly think of here. You know, the Vietnam vet era. They still, you know, I dress like this because of a Vietnam vet. You know.
Well, you know what's going to happen here.
What's that?
Did you just refer to yourself as dark-skinned? Because you're a fucking racist.
It depends.
Only compared to us, Stool. Only compared to us, we're also fucking.
You know what? I used to always say that, and then I was at a family reunion in Clinton, South Carolina, and they were like, "You're light skinned." I said, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." It just depends on what room you're standing on. You're standing in. And in the end, quite honestly, it doesn't matter. Because race is one of those boring things that other people get hung up on. See, that's the thing. I'm at the finish line, minding my own business, wearing my patches. I was so high, I floated into the airport like this. I literally floated into the airport.
I didn't have to walk.
And because of my job, I have a handicap placard, so I parked right in front of the airport. I was ready to go. People are scared as hell, and they should be. If the grid goes down, I'll be a full warlord.
Okay, Ox is ready to fight you about biker patches.
There's a difference between like patches on a denim jacket and biker patches.
There's a few patches that I wear that I've earned that if I saw someone wearing it, they'd have to prove. So I know the difference. But where I live, it's freaking
literally every room.
Diverse,
literally every room.
When I lived in Portland,
sorry,
no one wore patches. So it was one of those things like. It just depends on where you live, you know.
Yeah, in the winter, I've got my mother's Scandinavian skin, so if I stand in front of a snowbank, you won't see me.
And anybody that wants to talk, about biker stuff, meet me in Vegas on a run, and we can talk about it. But I have 2 bikes. They're called Parole and Probation. That's why you don't see them on videos. And if you're talking about it, you probably aren't it. That's all I'm saying. Meet me in real life, and I'll prove it to you.
I've learned a lesson in life.
Okay,
when Will makes you an offer, always refuse.
I take it the 81s are a bike gang. I don't know the reference here.
Yeah.
They're, like I said, meet me during the week. You will literally be holding my pocket when I hold it out. You know what? I am so tired. I laugh at getting tough on online and stuff like that. I'm more of a real life kind of guy, you know, because anybody could say anything. Let's go back to Guy Fawkes and Catholics, you know.
Oh, for fuck's sake! This is where I joined. I joined because Will was talking about Guy Fawkes and
I'm trying
Catholics.
to keep it going, you know.
Time out.
This shit is dive
British guy. Okay. I kind of know what November the 5th actually is. And if you get it wrong, Will, I will fucking kill you.
It's
with
Poppy
gunpowder.
Day, right?
Fuck off, Poppy Day, you stupid bastard.
You guys go watch V for Vendetta and you'll know all about the 5th of November.
No, do not do that.
Because we know Hollywood movies always give you the most accurate history.
Absolutely, and it's a good movie. No, but really, it's a good movie.
It's a really fun movie.
Purple.
But seriously,
so
it's not a history book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie, but let's let the British guy give us the history.
No, keep going.
I was kidding. It was a joke. It was a play on what V for Vendetta says. He says the 5th of November in the movie. It was just a play on words.
I think Mr. B is yanking my chain here.
You know what? History is funny though. Like, I have 25 family members that fought for the Confederacy. So when white guys are like, "Oh, the Confederacy stands for this and this," and I'm like, "Well, there was a gang of black guys that were there too, you know." But they love to leave that part out. So
I've quite literally put it in my name. I've given you the famous
Remember the 5th of November.
Gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a big deal over here. And
well, we don't know, Stool. I mean, what's it mean? What's it mean to you guys?
It means somebody was really pissed off with the government, and so they tried to blow the government up.
Okay.
His name? That's not a word. His name was Guido Fawkes. You know this. And so we celebrate it every year on the 5th of November. We have bonfires.
Right.
Stinky, smelly bonfires. We are weird people in this country.
Sure, you gotta tell me about weird people, man. You know where I live?
Yeah, I know.
We're all fucking weird over here. We're proud of it.
On Friday, which I think is now tomorrow, I'm not totally sure. But on Friday, most of this country will be burning shit. Yeah, and it's legal. We're allowed to do it for one day of the year. We'll be making big fires and celebrating burning a person.
Wow.
England is really fucked up. This is why I keep asking you all to adopt me, because I don't like it. It's weird.
Hey, I'm still trying to get Canada to annex us.
Purple really brings it up to anybody else from Canada.
You would hate
I hear it all the time.
You would hate California. We say literally and dude and bro in every sentence and like and totally, and you know, you would hate it. You would literally be in like grammar hell.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, look, it's a cat. Hello, kitty. There's a kittiness.
It's true, Ox, unless you're black. Unless you're black or Hispanic, and then then they'll fucking do something. But if you're white, yeah, you can do it all the time.
Not here. We burn shit all the time like it's Mexico City. And also, during the 4th of July, it makes me laugh how fireworks are illegal here, but they will be going off for the month before and the month after. People just cannot put those fireworks down. And we get mortars, too. So
I've just remembered something. For any of you lovely people who were in my special sex room earlier, yeah, I just said that. I literally do not own gunpowder. So FBI,
what?
I do not own gunpowder. I promise. I'm not going to do anything.
Why would the FBI care what an English guy had to say?
Really? They don't. They're like, go ahead, burn the place down, whatever.
I don't own any either, although I do know how to make it.
I own black powder for this thing, and I have my Enfield, and they both fire. And they're fun.
What year is that, Will? I can't remember. What year is that?
This is a real life Confederate Colt. This is a 18 something blah blah blah.
Okay.
This one I don't fire it because it's worth more than my house. But the Enfield, I play with that thing at the ranch. I take that thing out. But now we have a fire ordinance now where we can't. Basically, if you scare people and they call the fire department, they charge you $3,000.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
If there's nothing like just for showing up, they'll charge you $3,000 because no one's working right now. So
people, this is true. The FBI do actually have offices in this country, and people have received a knock on their doors because they've said a wrong on the internet.
Yeah, but your country is, you fought a war against the Germans and now you're turning into them.
Dude, I fought. No, I can't do that joke. No, no. I fought the law and the law won. Is that the song? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it always starts, blame the brown people, kick all the brown people out. Then they're going to kick all the undesirables out.
Well,
then you're left with a bunch of cishet white dudes. That's all you're
that utopia has to be the most boring place on earth where everybody looks alike. Everybody, eating a bologna sandwich every day. Sometimes I like Thai food. Sometimes I love Chinese food. I eat Chinese food. I eat Filipino food all the time. There's a place that's by my house. Filipino food is amazing.
Oh, fuck yeah. I agree.
But I would have never known. Food. I would have never known if there wasn't a Philippine grocery store by my house.
Philippine food, would that be Rover?
In what context do you mean Rover? Like Fido?
I understand that the Filipinos like to eat puppies.
Oh,
okay. So, So it's one of those funny things where things that are socially acceptable and like appalling to us, unfortunately, are okay to other people in other countries.
Right, right.
So it's one of those.
I don't know what Filipino food might be.
Now, Stool, be nice. Will was still talking.
You're scaring me now, though, because I always order the beef. when I lived in Mexico, the first time I went to Mexico without my parents, with all my friends, like I thought I was all tough, and my buddy was like, I was 16. My buddy was telling me the ropes, and he gave me some advice that stuck with me for the rest of my life. We're in the middle of TJ, and he's like, don't ever order the beef here. Always order chicken. And I said, why? He's like, do you see any stray dogs running around here? And I looked around. I said, no, because anywhere else in Mexico, there are stray dogs running around everywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
You go near where all the restaurants are, there is no stray dogs around there, So I've had cat, horse, dog. I ate a green tamale that made me sick for 5 days, You only live once, and you won't, then you're
there you
dead.
Go. There you
go. I've had all kinds of crazy stuff.
I'm good.
But I'll tell you, as an American, if it's wrapped in cactus, make sure you took some Pepto before you eat it. That's all I'm saying. It's all just some traveler advice. That's all I'm saying.
I've put some really bad things into my mouth, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Oh, that's interesting, Ox. Ox says that new Filipino president is making it illegal to use dog meat. He's been shutting down the dog farms.
They
Okay.
also-
Oh God, we're gonna adopt them all, aren't we? That's what we always do.
They're hardcore though in the Philippines. Like their president threw some guy out of a helicopter. They're so anti-drug that they do perp walks. They're hardcore. They remind me
Really?
of Africa. They're just like Africa. Like if you get arrested in like Africa or Bali or the Philippines, they're gonna put your dumbass on TV. They're gonna grab the back of your hair, make your face prop up. Like don't get caught in other countries if you're not from there. But you know what? They have reason to, because a place like America, you know, people are dying to bring us drugs. We're bringing drugs to other places, you know, like.
Because we have way too much money to spend on it, and they fucking know it, and they're going to charge it.
This
and
is
we're
a
going to fucking buy it.
I wish I had some of that money.
Well, this is a PBS statistic, so take it for what it is. But we use 78% of the world's illicit drugs. So most of the crap that's produced is coming to America because we buy the stuff.
Hey, Will, speaking of which, you know, when these guys were just leaving Afghanistan and all that shit over there, do you know one of the things that they had our soldiers doing?
Taking poppy plants?
No, guarding the poppy fields.
Oh yeah, that's
so no one would fuck with them during the fight. They guarded the fucking poppy fields.
Oh, they got to protect their investment.
That's exactly what it is. How you gonna fucking feed this shit over here and fuck people up and everything and make all that money if you don't have the fields?
My brother went back during the shock and awe campaign. He's a big guy. He's a chubby dude. They give him an extra large uniform. They sent his fat ass back to Iraq because he went there when he was 18 during the first time. And you know when it happened 20 years later, he was an older man. You know, he had gained 100-something pounds, and because he had experience guarding the oil fields, so he was in charge of all these 18-year-old kids because they didn't want to set the fields on fire again, like what Saddam did in Kuwait. When he just set all the oil fields, he screwed the world over when he did that.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, honestly, it's the same old trope. Like they care more about their investment, you know? That's why you should always support the soldier, but the cause isn't always what you think it is, you know?
Thank you, Will. My brother and I were just talking about that with our experiences of being in the Army and shit we've seen and shit we realized later. And we were like, dude, I wish I never would have went in. Like, I wish I wouldn't have.
And you can't,
it's just crazy shit, man.
There's a difference. Like the Holocaust level of I was just following orders is BS. Because at some point, like, there are people who turned around and was like, I can't do this, you know?
Yeah.
But nowadays, there's some kid in Bethesda, Maryland, hitting buttons on a drone, just clipping people out, it's like a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so disconnected.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it desensitizes them to what they're doing.
Because, like I said, I grew up around the Nom generation, and there were certain words you couldn't say around those guys. You couldn't clap your hands fast. You couldn't run up behind them.
No.
You know,
you walk around and come around in front of them. Yes.
There's a reason why there's combat veteran, like around my neighborhood still, they have that thing in the yard. Like, there's a combat veteran around here, which means if you act stupid, you will get shot.
Yep. Letting you know right now, bro, you start setting off fireworks, you might be fucking dead.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I met an old MMA fighter. What was it? Not MMA. Let's see. Yeah. Isn't there two kinds, like MMA and something else? Well, the cage fighting guys.
Like the old school Hoist Gracie, like there was, I guess it was called cage fighting, but now it's MMA, but it's UFC is the
UFC. That's the other one. Thank you.
That's
so this guy, this guy was in the UFC years ago. I mean, this was like back in 2007 when I met him. So it was like a few years before that, but he was like part of that group where they all started doing that shit. You know, he was like second generation kind of thing. Anyways, so I walked in the kitchen and the floorboard creaked and he whipped around and my brother Richard was standing there and he goes, don't walk up behind him. Just make a noise and let him know you're there before you're, and I'm like, I'll whistle. And the guy's like, thank you. And this is a big dude. His arms are still like big fucking dude. And I was like, whew, I was careful after that, man. Motherfucker might turn around, just all you'd have to do is hit me once, you know?
Yeah, those old schoolers had You know why? Because they had no therapy, they had no help, they just got sent home. So
I believe it.
There was a whole generation of people that just didn't talk about certain things, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's my dad was a World War II vet, you know, and I'm sure it really destroyed him because he just kept it all down. He never talked about any of it.
I don't want to sound rude, but would you guys mind if I took my hat off?
We've all seen your We've all seen your hair.
Who cares, Stool? Take your damn hat off.
I'm very paranoid about my head. Oh shit! Don't clip that fucker. Do not clip that.
That reminds me, this update is taking forever.
What are you updating?
My computer. Okay, maybe it's not. It's there's a new update for Mac because there's a million bugs in the system, and it's funny. I'll look up like complaints, and there'll be 100,000 complaints. 2 weeks later, like, oh, here's our new update with a fancy name of some town in California. The one thing I like about Apple is that they'll try to fix their mistakes.
I'm just going to have to come clean here. I think you all know that I'm a big fan of Tim Apple. So literally, Tim Apple is sitting on my lap right now. I love him. Never diss the Tim Apple, okay?
What are you doing in your lap?
I'm not a superstitious person. I just think their technology is crap sometimes. Like, honestly, I'm the kind of person that would be okay if we got rid of cars, if we went back to like smoke signals. I would be okay getting rid of the internet. Like,
if Jenny was in here, she'd be defending Apple. But I will not buy an Apple product just because you can't buy anything that they didn't make that would be compatible with it.
Let's not go there.
Exactly.
Where's the widget for my headphones?
That's why I won't spend. I'm not gonna spend that kind of money on a fucking computer that you have to buy every little fucking thing for, and it doesn't come with anything.
And on the new, I didn't know this when I bought my computer because I was all excited when I got it. They have USB-C ports, and so I had to buy a connector to run all my other stuff into it.
Right.
You know. So. The connector I have is $100. I literally had to pay $100.
See?
How many times are we going to say literally tonight?
It's literally
this is literally making my head hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it is literally too rich for my blood too.
I've taken down rad, cool, and like, but I'm not going to get rid of literally. No, because I said rad all the time, and I said I would say like, you know, all the time. And I watched a video and I was like, ooh, that's annoying. It should be a drinking game.
Oh,
and so I've taken it. So I took it out of my vocabulary, you know, like, you know, see, fuck, I did it again.
Because you were thinking about it. That's why.
It's literally what I do.
That's so funny, Will. Fuck. What, man? What?
Like, it's cool if you're rad.
It's not rare. See,
it's rad if you're cool.
I can always tell when someone's from my era because they're like, "Oh, that's rad," and I'm like, "Oh, you're in your 40s. Awesome. You're in your 40s."
You ever hear somebody say "cool beans"
all the time?
Oh, and I'm like, no. What are you like? What? Let me guess how old you're. You're now 53 to 55, aren't you?
You know? Yeah. I have a cousin that's that age that says that all the time.
Yeah, say it all the time. They do. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because it was only popular for like 2 years. So I think 53 to 55 is about accurate.
But that's like look at the hippie era. When did the hippie era really take off? It was in the 70s, right?
Well, no, it started in the 60s.
Yeah, but like the Summer of Love, wasn't that 1969? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Well, no, you're right. I think it is 69, but I think it started before that. That's when it really like. It hit, if that's what you mean. Then that's when it really. Oh yeah, you did say take off. You're right.
Mr. Shadow Kitty said I have PTSD as a result of being a victim of violent crime that landed me in the ER. The result is I suffer hypervigilance.
Yeah, No,
And
It's true, man.
I'm gonna say something.
yeah,
like,
the sleep psychologist basically concluded that the reason I never sleep the full hour at a time is because it's probably PTSD from something in the 10 years of my life I barely remember.
I wanna say something real quick. Like, I know we're on the internet, we all get our feelings hurt, we say things here and there. But recently, I was doxxed and someone threatened me. Come to my house and find out. Oh, I blocked everybody.
Somebody doxed you?
Oh,
I didn't know that happened.
I blocked it. If someone threatened my kid, but it's okay. I'm
What?
hypervigilant too. No, it's
not okay.
No, I already went through this with Randolph and I. Randolph talked me off the cliff.
Oh, good. Randolph's a good dude, man.
The bottom line is like,
yeah,
I'm hypervigilant too. Don't cross lines. Remember, this is all just, we're all on the internet. You don't want to find out. Don't come to my house.
There you go, man.
I wouldn't run up on, if I ran up on B, I would expect him to pop one in my shoulder. If I ran up, because B's from America.
That's right.
And Stool's different. I was about to use Stool as an example, but you're not from here.
Because almost everybody around here, somebody got a fucking gun
in my neighborhood.
So my thing is, nutty. You don't come up to a motherfucker running your mouth unless you're prepared to fucking defend yourself.
Back it up. That's my thing.
Because if you don't have a gun and you're gonna do that, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, don't
because that motherfucker probably has one.
Don't cross that line.
That's how the U.S. is. You just
I gotta protect my sewing machines.
Honestly, nobody's ever pissed me off enough since I was like 22 or 24.
Okay, let's
to make me want to go after them to do so. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
what the fuck? People chill, man.
No,
what the hell?
People get brave online. You can say anything when you're hiding behind a computer.
Okay, come on,
keyboard warriors.
Let's Stool talk here.
Sorry.
I love it when you say that.
Sorry, Stool.
I'm not going to make light of what Mr. Shadow Kitty just said because a weird thing has happened to me in recent days, and I go outside now, and weird things are happening in my brain. I will never fucking not try to understand whatever the fuck it is that's happening in your heads, because it can mess us up. Also, Will.
Yeah. I'm giving love to native atheists.
I know you think, because you're American, I know you think we're not allowed to own guns, but we are. We choose not to.
I wish the world was a better place. Like, I want to live in that utopia where we all, the rainbows. I'm getting a blowjob at the bottom of the rainbow, but it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist.
Fuck I never thought about that, Will, but I want to be that guy.
I'm just saying, like, come on. Like, I live in reality. I live in the harshness and the bleakness of reality.
Anybody who is familiar with my work and my sexiness will know that I'm always correct. No. And the 5th of November, I think something bad is going to happen in this country. Just saying. Also, B.
Yes, Studio.
What did you just open?
This cabinet?
No, you had a.
Oh,
what your bottle is.
I have cinnamon eggnog, and I threw some fireball in it.
Eggnog.
Cinnamon eggnog. You throw a fireball in it. It's a nice after when you don't really want to drink, but you want to have a little bit of a drink.
Is that not a Christmassy thing?
Dude, I don't give a fuck. I love eggnog, and if any time of year it's out, I'm fucking drinking it. I love
this. I now want eggnog. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at Amazon because I want eggnog.
It's good, man. And you can mix it with anything. It's good with rum. It's good with anything that goes with milk. It's going to taste good with eggnog.
You know what? You just reminded me of something. I'm going to troll my neighbors. I'm going to put my Christmas decorations up.
Oh,
they'll curse me out.
Dude, that's me, man.
They like, we have a personal relationship. They'll be like, what the F? Like, I'll get a text of what the F. I did it the day after Thanksgiving last year, and my neighbor across the street was like, seriously, bro?
No, that's what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to do it the day after
Thanksgiving weekend is when you're supposed to put up the outside decorations.
Yeah, you do. You have the Thursday Thanksgiving, and then all day Friday and Saturday, and maybe Sunday, depending on how crazy you get. Probably like Will, and this whole house is covered like Chevy Chase on Christmas.
No, I'm
Anyways.
gonna buy a 15-foot Frosty this year.
No,
But yeah, that's
Thursday,
what you're supposed to
Thursday
do.
is Thanksgiving. Friday is putting up the decorations. Saturday is visiting the people in the hospital who fell off the roof.
Yeah.
I
how many of you guys saw the film Christmas Story? You know, with little Ralphie and all that
Oh,
shit?
yeah.
oh yeah,
You remember the store where they went to see Santa?
oh yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
store got decorated Thursday and Wednesday night and Thursday, and then Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. That's how it looked after it had looked plain on Wednesday.
Right.
All the elves came in over Thanksgiving and did that thing all in 36 hours.
You know,
It was amazing.
I only do it because my kid doesn't even like. He was raised an atheist. I didn't even do it on purpose. I just didn't force him to go to church or anything, you know.
Yeah.
But I act accordingly. My neighborhood, this neighborhood glows during Christmas. So, I'm not going to be that one dickhead who doesn't put the lights up.
But not necessarily religious.
I'm thinking about
No,
getting
it's not.
at
Depends how you
Walmart.
look at it.
They have Santa in an outhouse. So I'm thinking about getting Santa in an outhouse and just putting him in front of my house. Oh, I got cameras. Some kid tries to steal it. I'm not scared to kick a kid.
Oh, that's right. You do have cameras. That's
I
right.
got cameras. No, I'm too
The
old.
The one I'd like to be able to do to somebody is
great.
Santa taking a shit down the chimney.
I guarantee you it's out there. I Google it.
I bet you if you Google a Santa decoration shitting down a chimney, you'd probably find it. I agree with Will. I think he's right. They make everything these days let you die. You just gotta know how to Google it.
That's why
sometimes you'll Google what you're thinking of and it ends up being a little different, but if you can figure that out, you can find anything.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, I love that POW camp.
So there's a place by my house. It's called man. Their light bill was like $2,000 just for that week. Oh wow. Dude, all I see is dollar signs. You have to be rich to do something like that where I'm from. You better
actually
be rich.
one of the best ones I ever saw was in St. Paul. There was this house that was like, decked out to the max. I'm sure the planes could see it. Just every square inch of the house had lights on it. And the house next to it took a single string of blue Christmas lights and made an arrow in the window pointing next door.
Damn right. I've seen that.
I'm not even going to try.
Look, isn't that cool?
I saw there's someone in the townhomes like up in the front of the neighborhood, and they have a 15-foot minion. And I'm not kidding you. It's like you could see the thing from the road. And so it's an inflatable. They'll put a hat on it. They put Halloween decorations on it. They're getting their money. I think it was an old movie prop.
Oh, really?
It's huge. It's obscene. It's so large.
And
But-
it's what is it? It's a
minion.
Oh, it's a minion. Oh.
Like from
Okay.
Despicable. It's
Yeah.
Hollywood is around.
So now they
around here.
decorated it. Right. I
Like
got you.
when I half of the clothes I buy at thrift stores have names of shows on them, of movies you've never heard of, or stuff that's been discontinued.
Right.
They're good to beat up at work.
Yeah. I used to love. That's where I used to get all my work clothes from. Go to fucking Goodwill. I'm not gonna spend $50 on a shirt and ruin it in like 3 days. That shit ain't happening.
That's why I've been hurting with the swap meet being closed around here. There was a guy who sold work shirts like with the collar, the good ones that can get fire on them for $1 each. You can't beat that. So I miss that guy because my collection is dwindling. No, you rip $1 shirt, you laugh, you throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
You
Oh, no, you know what I do?
Chris,
If it's like a winter shirt that's really absorbent, I'll throw it in the back of my truck for like an oil rag or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I do that.
recycle that shit and then throw it out.
I have old boxers that I use for oil, for my 3-in-1 oil for my sewing machines.
Yeah.
there's a
perfect.
traditional Christmas character in Spain known as the Caganer. There's a person pooping, and they always put him somewhere in the nativity scene.
Oh, that's got to be something funny in Castilian. That's one language I can't speak.
Is it like a thing you have to find the pooping person?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here.
Is that what you mean, Jer? Like you have to wherever the nativity scene is, you got to find the little shitting dude.
Mac is asking if you're both stoned.
Yes, Mac, I'm high. I'm guessing Will probably.
Oh, I got my
see?
church. This is my church warden pipe. I'm super high.
You know,
I'm-
no matter
I'm
whatever
church warden
happened,
high.
there's one thing that Will and I agree on. It's fucking pot.
I'm church warden high. I'm walking around.
I'm really high, man. I was already happy before I was smoking, so now I'm
Did
really
you-
high.
Did you just say the little shitting dude?
Oh, okay. So that reminds
Yeah,
me.
Kaganer.
I worked
Andrew
with
was
the-
talking about him.
I worked with a
Kaganer,
Polish.
or
I worked with a Polish woman
Kaganer.
forever, and before she passed away, she gave me this Christmas decoration. It's a pickle in a jar. And in Poland, they have this tradition where they hide a pickle, and you have to find the pickle.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I do a Polish tradition every year. Well, I just put it in a tree, but it's one of those really funny things. She knew me my whole life because she worked at the ranch, and she was an awesome person. I have to there's a picture of her holding a double barrel shotgun, and I'm looking like I had the full Fu Manchu going. I was like 220 pounds. I couldn't even hide it. I was big.
No, I feel you. Well, I got up to 230 at one point when I was driving truck for all those years.
Yep.
Dude, it was bad. Like right now, I'm like 169.
That's
And I'm chubby. Like, imagine putting another
it's really funny.
50 pounds on top of that.
I was a $170 my entire adult life. COVID hit. I'm anywhere from 195 to 200 now.
Really? Shit.
But I work out though, so I refuse. I have a rule that my chest, as long as my chest is bigger than my stomach, I'm all right.
There you go. Yeah,
I do
man.
push-ups. I'm like, no, gotta beat the belly. Gotta beat the belly.
Hide the pickle. I love that.
I feel really dirty right now because
Do you
Me
know?
too, Matt, because you know what? I'm going
I
out for
just
the weekend
Googled-
to a house in the middle of nowhere with Heather. So, yes, I'm going to play that game.
So that's
I
all Vietnam.
literally just typed into my computer, find the pickle. I feel dirty and bad.
You're a sick man, Stool.
That's an
I
old
know.
like all the old Vietnam veterans used to say that. You guys playing hide the pickle? What the hell
Yeah,
you doing over
that's
there?
right.
That's an old joke. Oh, that's right up there.
That's
with
where, isn't that the same time that Tickle My Pickle, whatever tickles your pickle? Didn't
Oh,
that come
yeah.
up around the same time?
Butt
Yeah.
Pirate too, right around that.
Oh,
same
yeah,
time.
Butt Pirate. I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah.
There's so
Oh, yeah.
much old, like, see, I find some people get offended. I just think it's fucking stupid. So I laugh at it. I don't care. It's funny.
A long time ago, I asked my dad. I was like, I need something really insulting to say. He walks up to me and he's like, call him C pussy. And I walked away, and I was a kid. I called someone C pussy. It took him a week to figure out what I was calling him. Don't ever ask an old sailor an insulting jab, because they'll give you one. See, that's what we miss out with that old generation. A lot of people, like, I would shut up and listen when they talked, because they had the funniest stories. They were always original people.
Right.
You should never thumb your nose at the older generation.
No, I don't. I respect them, man. I really do. There's some tough motherfuckers, man. They saw a lot of shit,
I have
Seriously.
I have a saying where when people reach a certain age, I leave them the F alone. Like
That's
if
right.
an old man got on me with me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, sir. And I would walk away.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
the same way. I don't cross that line. I always respect them.
Oh yeah.
Especially anybody like
Okay.
around my mom's age, because she was born in 1942 in the middle of fucking war shit. And my Nana and her, man, they fucking fought their way up, So fucking
Because I'm
those two generations.
because I'm 12 and a child. Can I just tell you this thing? According to Google, there's a thing called yes, I've Googled it. There's a thing called the Christmas pickle ornament.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
that's what Aunt was just saying.
That's what I
That
have.
there's a tradition of hiding a pickle decoration on the Christmas tree.
Mine's in a jar because I could imagine how smelly that would get about after a week.
Oh,
Mac, it's the second pussy.
I thought you were joking. It's a real thing.
There you go.
Yeah, see, no, my pops
Whew.
was in the
Right,
Navy
good.
from 1957 until 1972. So he told me every insulting. He taught me everything he knew. Oh, I actually uncomfortably said that to somebody on a pontoon boat one time, and I waited till we pulled offshore just to make sure that they were uncomfortable.
I love it when Willie's uncomfortable.
I don't know if I'm just in a weird mood, but Will's just killing me tonight. Like, he's fucking killing me.
I think
you
it's
have, like, a
mostly your
lot of
high.
it?
He's not really funny.
Will, are you really high or am I really high? Which one is it?
Well, you know what?
Seriously.
I'm less high because I had to stop smoking those the vapes. They were giving me
yeah?
pneumonia because I'm a born asthmatic, and they were I was
fuck,
killing
dude.
myself. I like it. I might as well start smoking cigarettes again. So
Oh,
I would get
absolutely.
so stoned. Like if you look at
Fuck.
last week's video, I was lost in the chat. I literally had lack of oxygen, and so I'm back to good old Mary Jane and I are back together.
Amen, brother. I heard you on that.
I'm too old for all the new fancy shit. Like because of my lungs, I can't smoke all that oil stuff. So for some reason, pot doesn't hurt my lungs. It's just sleepy, happy, hungry. Those are the side effects of marijuana.
Yes, that's all I get from it. It's wonderful. And after I get happy and eaty and sleepy, I sleep like a fucking baby.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's no hangover. It's great.
See,
well, I keep saying what gets anything done in politics is putting money behind it. You need a lobby. So I don't know why we can't get like Hostess and Frito-Lay to back nationalize legalization of weed.
No, 7-Eleven.
They're the ones who will make the money off of it.
7-Eleven needs to, because we know what you're doing in California. They put a 7-Eleven across the street from every pot shop because they're not dumb. So 7-Eleven, they have great planning.
I remember 7-Eleven, man. I used to work at 7-Eleven in Orlando.
You need some place that you can get your munchies at 3:00 in the morning.
I was about to say I still eat there. You catch me on the weekends. I'm so high it's embarrassing. You would be like, God,
I don't know why people are against pot anyways, because the worst thing you got with pot is a group of people that are better friends and they might steal some chips. Like they're not gonna get in a fight because they're like, dude, I'm too high. What's up, bro? Like nobody's like that when they're high.
People get drunk,
chilled and
people get drunk to fight over anything.
Yeah,
people
but
get high. The only thing they'll fight over is who gets the last Twinkie.
So
literally, it's just munchy food and shit. Maybe whatever your preference of drink is. They just don't give a shit besides that.
In my 20s, I did nothing but service jobs. I worked at a fast food place. Every time a drunk person would come in, we'd get the phone ready to call the cops. When a high person would come in, they'd order too much food and walk out with a giant bag. That was about it,
Right, exactly.
That's about, like drunk people, you say anything to them. What? All of a sudden they're Mike Tyson because they got liquid courage,
Yeah, exactly. Liquid courage.
That's why I stopped drinking whiskey. If they allowed Slayer and whiskey in the UFC, I would be champ or passed out on the floor because you think you can fight when you're drunk.
And you really can't.
Yeah, no one can. There's a professional boxer that got knocked out in LA, and the guy who knocked him out is famous. But the truth is, the professional boxer was drunk, and the guy just took a step back and punched the professional boxer in the face.
But he was already trashed.
Oh, hey man, if someone gave me that crown, I'd take it too, and then hide. Because that guy, the other guy's no joke.
No, wait. Don't be around when he sobers up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like that though. I meant professional wrestlers, like they're real people. They'll fight you.
Yeah.
Like go run up on Triple H 20-30 years ago. They were no joke.
It's true.
The old guys, they were on my hero. He's in all my videos. The Ultimate Warrior. He was literally on roids and cocaine.
Oh yeah. Most of those guys were back then. They were jacked up. Fucking no, you don't fuck with those dudes. You're right, man. That'd be the stupidest thing you ever did.
if you go back and watch their videos, they're like, because they're so high, they have to. They're like breathing in heavy, you know. Especially Ric Flair's the best. Go back and watch their old. They are so yayed up. It's hilarious.
Was it Roddy Piper that used to do the? No, who was it that did the?
Wait.
Ric Flair.
This makes no sense.
Flair, that's it. I used to do that at work when I walked into work and I was an EMT. I'd walk it because it was real echoey, a big ass like metal building ambulance bay.
Oh yeah.
And I'd walk out there and go, woo! And then I did it every time. And then eventually people started doing it back.
7-Eleven is going to put in 500 EV fast chargers. When is anyone ever in a 7-Eleven long enough that charging would make any sense to plug in?
I know I live in Lefty Land, but we have charging stations everywhere here. It's actually weird because I'm old and I pulled up literally in my beater 1988 Ford truck and I'm like, what the hell is that? What? Literally, I'm like, what the hell is that? But we have charging stations everywhere here.
I haven't pressed anything. Is this the longest pregnant pause ever?
B, I think am I muted? B, I think you're muted.
Well, the moment's gone. It was funny. See, Stool, I did it. I fucking told you.
I saw a reaction and I was like, am I? Because I've had so much technical problems with my mics lately. I can't tell if it's me or somebody else.
Yeah, that was delicious. That was the best pregnant pause ever. It brought me great pleasure.
Everybody was waiting for I guess they were waiting to hear me, and I appreciate that.
No, nobody does that, B. Nobody ever does that.
Shut up, Stool.
I was trying to keep Sammy from pressing keys on the keyboard.
So Shadow Kitty, you're 100% right. Like I am so much more of a responsible driver when I'm stoned. But I was never a drinker and driver. I drive around the speed limit. See, but in LA it's NASCAR here. So the speed limit is like 70, we're all smashing here. I know for a fact if I put someone in my driver's seat that wasn't from LA, I could scare them on the freeway.
I don't ride. I only drive.
For me, it's the same thing. It's a loss of control.
Yeah, I don't. It's not that I don't trust the person I'm with. I don't trust everybody around us.
Same.
And
I hate to drive.
I mean, I'll drive fast. Don't get me wrong.
When I was with my fiance, she would always drive. But when we were coming back for her to meet my family, when we got to Gary, Indiana, I told her I had to take over from there. And she couldn't believe I was actually saying that. But driving through the Chicago expressways scared her shitless.
Oh, really?
The Seattle
Chicago expressways, if you don't know which lane you need to be in 2 miles ahead of time, you never
better know. Oh, yeah, I know. I drove truck through there, Purple. I know. It's fucking. You should try to be in a truck and switch lanes. Good luck.
In the Seattle Speedway, whatever it's called, I stupidly pulled in my 1983 Ford Ranger that couldn't go past 85 miles an hour. People were flipping me off, and I'm like, holy, Seattle is just like LA. Just like LA.
Get out of the way, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's the plates, though. It's the plates. Like, if you're from out of town, you'll get flipped off, no matter what.
You're gonna fuck up something that nobody else does because they live there. Yeah.
Well, and like everyone hates people from California, and that's okay. We have sunshine.
I got sunshine.
It's okay.
On a cloudy day.
Whoa, copyright spank.
Have you seen?
Stool,
have you watched the beginning of my video yet?
I never watch your videos, Will, because
I can tell.
I think you're a dick, and that sewing machine behind you.
I think we all a little more specific.
Yeah,
I've got to narrow this one down. I am still watching you, Will. So don't touch it.
Okay, which one?
The big one there. No, not the big one. The little one. The little one that looks like a food mixer.
Oh, the one in the table?
wooden cabinet.
I'm pointing, but you can't see me.
That one's actually a Triumph. I just put this back together. I completely took it apart, and it's working. The bobbin's moving and everything else. I just have to put the tension claps on it.
Is that really expensive one you were telling us about?
No, this I got it at a thrift store for $20, and you know when you buy something like that, the lady flat out told me like it's broken.
Oh, don't do that.
No, I hit the wrong button. I was just trying to take Will back to normal size.
And it
Well,
it's a miracle that thing works. But I know sewing machines. It's you know, it's like my old Ford Ranger. It only had 26 parts. It's not that hard.
Will, you know the one that you were sent by a random stalker?
Oh, my stalker machine.
Your stalker machine. The one that you think is going to blow up and is secretly filming you.
Oh, and that's another thing. Don't come to my house either, even if you think I'm sexy. I'm not that nice in person. I'm not this nice in person.
I'm just going to say.
Call before you come over.
Give me a ring, man.
Yeah.
I've kind of got to say this, Will, but my app broke. I can't stalk you anymore. But I enjoyed it when you did that thing in the bathroom. That was really
Doc.
cool.
Hold on. We have to send love to Doc. Doc, I love you.
Hey,
You're
Doc.
awesome. Doc is
Oh,
amazing
no.
human being.
Yay.
No.
That is my friend. That is my friend. That is my friend.
Doc is my father.
That is my friend. I love Doc. Doc's awesome.
I will give you all 3 of your American dollars each if Doc will do his thing for me. That sounded weird, but
So for those who don't know, I got sent a mystery machine by a stalker, and no one has owned up to it yet. But I'm gonna take the cover
That's
off.
weird. Who sends you a $700 present without a note?
I've checked everything. I mean, like I've searched my kid's PlayStation.
Well, you know,
every
I can
possibility.
understand people on the internet, you know, sending you like a $20, $25 thing anonymously, but you know, not something that's like, you know, several $100s. That just
Yeah, there are some interesting people out there.
The
Really.
world's a crazy place. But in my neighborhood, there's a gang of cops that live in my neighborhood, and we have moats and alligators. But anyway,
this excites me. Will,
I'm gonna take
this
these off
excites
tonight.
me. Have you
I'm
got a moat?
I'm gonna make some more patches tonight. I mean, I'm actually excited. I'm gonna use the stalker machine, and the real winner is Isaiah because he scored a way better machine. So
there you go.
No, I promised him. I told the story like I promised him that if I ever got an embroidery machine, he could have the one that I have. Well, I always thought I'd upgrade. Well, that came. You know, my son has ASD. He was like, "Oh, Pop's got a new machine." He was literally walking in the hallway with the thing in his arm, saying "thank you." As I'm like, "Okay." As I'm still standing at the door, he was unplugging the machine. Like, "Oh, this is mine now." So the real winner is the kid who's making right-wing patches in his room right now.
Nice.
But people are crazy. Diana, has anyone ever sent you anything unsolicited that's just weird?
Not unsolicited. No.
This is going to end badly.
Yes, so it has a rich stalker. It's true.
Wait, so people have only sent you weird things that you've asked for.
Somebody surprised the heck out of me. If you remember when I did the GoFundMe a couple of months ago because I needed money to pay off. One person I know sent me $1,000. And it was like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Wow, really?
Yeah. And it just knocked me right off my chair. I did not think that I would be worth $1,000 to anybody.
Ox, it's always Bubba. It's always a Bubba. It's never the person you want. It's never the person you want. Trust me. It's always a Bubba.
Oh, fuck Will.
Always. And you know, if someone sent me $1,000, that like I said, when someone sent me the machine, I was like, thank you, awkwardly. Nothing to wag your even in the video, I sat there with the box. I hadn't even opened it yet because I was like, this is weird. Then I was like, moment over, new stuff. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see what's in this bitch.
Dude, I have to admit, I made this fuck the world patch. You know, I've made all kinds of crazy patches already. Maybe that's what.
When I did the fundraiser for the move, there were 2 people who each donated $250, and one of those was anonymous.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are good people out there. I'm not doubting anything, but you know, just call
Well,
before
I've
you
seen
talk.
enough anonymous donations to know that there is someone in our little group who has money and doesn't want anyone to know about it.
Hey, I wear size
It
13 boot.
happens.
Size 13
Well,
It
I
ain't me, I
can
can tell you
understand
that.
that. I can understand that, because if people know you've got money, then everybody be hitting you up.
Yeah, it's true.
No, they always say that about people that come to large sums of money. Don't advertise it too much, or you start getting what's called new relatives that you never heard of.
Yeah.
I'm your blah blah blah, or someone will say, "Your so and so owed me money." Anyone who's ever said that to me, I'm like, take it up with that person.
Well, see, to me, that would be a serious problem because I've got 52 first cousins.
Okay.
So, yeah, you put in all the aunts and uncles and all the second and third cousins. And, yeah, if people found out I had money, it wouldn't last very long.
Touche.
Not that any of them have talked to me in the last 5 years, but, if you get money, that's going to change.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if I ever came into money, everybody who disowned me would instantly re-own me.
or sue you.
Yeah, one of the two.
In my family, they're big on suing each other. Sometimes I'd say sometimes it's better to be broke because like Notorious B.I.G. said, more money, more problems.
Yeah, there's a point to that.
And people think sometimes you have more money than you do, and so they'll sue you, and you'll be like, I don't even have that much money. The hell's wrong with you?
Ox, lube up.
Yeah, but Ox has got it. Somebody wanted to be generous.
Oh no, I'm going crazy on it because it's a certain generation. So there's with each generation sewing machine, there's certain things you can and cannot do. That's why I geek out on these older sewing machines that I get going because they're better made than the new ones. My Singer 301A, that's from like the 1940s. And it works better than my $700, $800 Husqvarna.
Well, that's it. If you get a Singer from like between the end of World War II and the 60s, those are the prime ones. Everything in there is steel.
Oh, I say that all the time, and it's a beast. Like it goes through leather. It's an absolute beast. These things will explode on you. You have to change the foot and everything, But with those old
just the way they look, the Singers from around the turn of the 20th century were absolute works of art.
Absolutely. And they're made with cast iron steel. So they were literally made to last forever.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the one. That's the thing. If you get the ones that came out right after World War II, because then the factories had all the stocks of steel when they stopped making the military equipment.
Yep.
And that was all super high grade steel.
Even there's this Nelco that I opened up that I got for $20, the whole table and everything. It's all cast iron aluminum. That's how I knew I could get it started. Once you lube up the gears, I literally have that in my video. I put on Barry White, I put some lube on the machine, and that thing started right up.
You're a sick man, Will.
I have a very specific pleasure, Diana. I actually met someone recently at the fabric store. They were like, "Do you really sew?" Because I get that all the time. Because I walk in there looking like this, and she lives in my neighborhood. And she came over to my house, and I told her, I was like, "Welcome to my pleasure room." I was totally made a really bad what's that crappy BDSM movie? Oh, come on. The guy ties up the woman, the book that everybody was reading.
Oh,
what, 48 hours?
Yes, I was doing a shitty quote from that movie. But she was like, "Oh, you were not kidding."
Okay, Antor's got a good point. It's either cast iron or steel. It's not both.
Okay, so The other one is cast iron aluminum. And the only reason I know this is because I watched this guy that I can't give credit to because I can't remember his name. But he geeks out on sewing machines. And he's the one who taught me how to find the serial numbers and what factory. Like that singer, I know what town in Maryland it came from, you know, and what year and everything.
Yeah, I remember the old, you know, I actually had sewn on a treadle sewing machine that had the all cast iron base. And
hey, Randolph, I recently just sold one for an outrageous amount of money because I needed to justify buying all this other crap. And I wasn't.
Yeah, there you go. 48
Hey, Randolph.
hours of gray. Hey, Randolph.
But yeah, the those old sewing machines were made to last. They did not joke around. And a lot of they like, and it's all lore, but like Stool, Purple was saying, all the cast aluminum came from a lot of the old planes that came back that didn't get shoved in the ocean, or you know.
I have to do this.
yeah, I think you mean cast aluminum.
Well,
Yeah, whatever.
There's a cat who wants attention. Well,
We're sorry. Godless Sewing is now so high that nothing after this message is going to make sense. Thank you for showing up. Tip your waitress and go subscribe.
Hey, Tiny Captain.
It's all right,
Hey,
Will.
Tiny
Somehow I
Captain.
always try to drink out of an empty glass.
No,
Like,
I always reach a certain point where people are like asking me facts, and I'm like, man, I've been smoking for an hour and a half. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Tiny
See-
Captain's another one that people need to go subscribe to.
I was smoking for about
what do you do?
5.5 hours.
Time, Johnny Captain.
He's got a small channel, you know, debunking flat Earth and other such stupidity.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Randolph.
Purple, I have to do a British here. I'm really sorry. There is no such word as aluminum. It's a hoax.
OF. Emu, Guy Fawkes, camera, woman.
Nice. No, it's aluminium, you idiots. For fuck's sake.
And I have to admit that Stool is correct. Aluminium is the official accepted name. IUPAC says that. Yep.
I'm from the foreign country of California.
Pipe it, Mac. It's easier.
Okay,
Call that
Johnny
rolling.
Captain, you now have
Get me
43
smoking.
subscribers.
Aluminium.
Okay,
Yes,
yep.
thank you, DK.
And Ox just dropped
Wow.
Tiny Captain's link there for anybody else who wants to check it out.
I now need to say something really smutty. Mr. B, when you just said that word,
What word?
the one that you just pronounced correctly,
Aluminium?
yeah, do that to your special friend. Because it's kind of sexy when you do
Dude,
it.
you know what's cool? Is I don't have to do that shit because she finds me sexy exactly as I am. So,
Whoa.
Sorry, I have
but
to agree with.
thanks for the advice, but
I have to agree with.
unnecessary.
I have to agree with Ox. I speak a mix of like hillbilly and California English, so my words sometimes are blah 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 blah. Aluminum. It makes me laugh how much our English bothers you, Stool.
Many things bother me, but don't get upset about it.
Oh,
It's my job alone to be upset about what upsets me. You guys just do your own thing.
but I got my church warden pipe going, and this thing rips.
I don't know what a church warden pipe is. You keep saying this, and it sounds really fucking Jimmy Savile. What is a church warden's pipe, Will? Please
Fuck
don't
off,
answer that
Max.
question.
Why are you always trying to? Stool is obsessed
Fuck
with
yeah, I
that
am,
guy.
man.
Mac
It's-
is making B blush.
Yeah,
Just stop. Fucker.
Doc, sweetie.
It's an old school pipe that you could have. You could smoke it and be on watch at the same time. So it's down here, and you could still, shoot your gun. You could still, walk around the church.
I've no idea what any of
Will,
these words mean, Will.
Is that a euphemism, Will? Shoot your gun?
It sounded so euphemism to me. It really is.
It's got a very long stem.
I'm just gonna get ripped. This is a beautiful pipe.
Going to? You mean you're not yet? You and B have been awfully goofy since we started.
It's called pot, Purple.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean.
What?
Will says he's going to get ripped. I think he started out there before we got
All
online.
right. So I'm
Ripped.
Monday through Friday. I'm redoing 7th grade right now because my son is at home, and so I stay relatively sober all day long. So when it hits like 8 o'clock at night, I get ripped. I got the hockey channel going. We're having a beautiful stream. I'm gonna get ripped.
So for the benefit of the future people who come here to watch this, I'm just going to recap here, okay? Will has just put... This is how I understand it. I could be wrong. Will has just put a very long-stemmed church warden into his mouth. Is that it?
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly it. And he smokes well, too.
What are you doing? And why are
Mac
you
is
doing
looking
it?
for specifics. He wants to know what kind of wood the stem is.
This I got at my local pot shop, so I guarantee you it's from China. But
It looks bamboo-ish to me.
Looks like a weed out of his garden.
Oh,
did you just kick Will? Snap.
I was trying to hit the solo button.
I know.
Okay, so these are made in Italy. Like, these are real hardwood pipes. You could put this in the oven, and well, at least the wood part in the oven. This I got at my pot shop, my local pipe store.
That's a Dr. Grabow, isn't it?
Well, I call it a church warden pipe because I grew up around Navy people and old people. My pops was 40 something when I was born, so he was 50 when I was like 6 or 7 years old, But the reason I know that this is fake is because I broke one just like it. So don't drop these things. These I put in my back pocket. I forget they're there. I drive halfway around town with them. And the cool thing about these pipes is that I smoke them in public, and people think I'm smoking pipe tobacco until they smell it.
And then they're like, "Oh,
but
I have a new friend."
It's weird to me because I'm from the generation that you went to jail if you smoked in public. Like it was jail time. If you were dumb enough to smoke, like so
Yep.
People do it all the time here now. It's like Oregon. It's weird. It's just weird. But I don't smoke in my car because it's considered a DUI.
Yeah, huh?
The cops basically said, all right, if pot's legal, do it at home, or walk to wherever you have to go, but you can't be in your car.
Well,
Looks like Junie wants in Purple.
DUI is driving under influence.
Right.
It doesn't say it's driving while intoxicated. That's why there's a DWI and a DUI. Everything else that's drug related is under DUI. Yeah, absolutely.
We had this really weird law that we never knew that it was like technically not illegal to smoke pot in your car. They had no law about it. So when they made the law, people were like, wait a minute, if you had to make a law, that means there was never a law. So it's California though. We have laws in certain cities where you can own a gun, but you can't own bullets. We have weird laws here.
Am I okay to speak now? There's a pause. There's a pause, and so I think I'm safe to speak. Mr. B, you just said bambooey.
I did not say that. I've never heard that word before. Did you just make that up, or?
No, you said it, and I've got evidence. I've tweeted about it.
I did not say. Say it again.
Bambooey.
I actually have.
Oh no, I said bamboo.
Where's
You said
my record?
bambooey.
I did not put an E on the end.
Hey,
My
Junie.
mother has no unintelligent children.
I have Big
Junie!
Bam in this.
The half
Hey,
functional.
Hey, Junie.
Aw, I mean,
I'm gonna find that. I have the Cheech and
Yep.
Chong record with the giant rolling paper. It's somewhere in this room.
You should never smoke weed and drive, because a cop on foot will run you down.
what, man? You're so fast. You're going
know-
too.
You should see my pot shop. There are giant gangsters, grandmas. It is Disneyland at the pot shop. There's no reason to fight. Everybody's about to get weed. We stand in line. We're like, "Hi, how are you doing? Hey, how's it going?" Pot shops are happy places.
Okay, but what do you think would happen to the line waiting at the pot shop if somebody started a rumor that they were running out? Now, the people who have already smoked up will be fine. The people who haven't gotten any yet today.
So panic is real, and I live in LA, and that's how trouble starts real fast. Panic is real. The madness
Actually,
of crowds
when
is real.
Go ahead, Junie.
When they started to legally, sorry, and then let me know if I'm lagging behind everybody. I think my internet's a little iffy today.
No, you're good.
But when they legalized recreational pot here, apparently there was a scarcity, and so I think they gave the first dibs on the ones who already had the medical card.
It was like that for a year. When they legalized pot, you had to have a card. But I'm not even trying to tell any secrets. Like, getting a medical marijuana card isn't that difficult. And it's not
I'm thinking of getting a medical card, but the thing is, I don't know what the transplant people think about that. I don't know if they would disconsider me or not.
You would really have to look into that, because you never want to introduce something to your body that's going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like with the vapes, you know what? They weren't for me, so I stopped doing them. They were hurting me, so, back to good old Mary Jane.
I'm in some severe pain, and really from past experience, marijuana is really the only stuff that would do anything for that pain. It's the pain of slip discs.
Tiny Captain, I'm a punk and drubleg kind of guy. I'm a total NoFX nerd.
Yeah, punk and drubleg.
Yep. Everybody do the bad carpenter and hit a thumb. I don't care which one. It's all the same.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Go ahead. Pick one.
No, that's real. I had a troll that left 17 different comments till they got through. Like, keep that traffic coming, guys. Keep all that hate coming my way, please.
Yeah, it grabs the attention to the algorithms.
Mac.
That sounds like something Randolph will have to make into a meme.
The one thing I like in California, when they legalized pot, it destroyed the underground economy.
Yeah.
And so now, if you do buy pot that's from a dealer, it's from a local one. So it actually helped all the local dealers, because all the people from out of state and everything else, it killed that competition.
Well, yeah, it cut the profit margin out of it.
Yeah, exactly, because pot's cheap now.
Yeah. It's going to keep getting cheaper too, but the cities are going to make a lot of profit off that shit. I don't know what's taking them so long. You can make so much money off of taxing weed.
Well, in Colorado, when they were the only one who had it legal for recreational use, after the first year, their biggest issue was trying to find things to dump the money in, because the revenue turned out to be 8 times what they projected.
That's why I'm so mad at my yuppie town. They outlawed it because they don't want pot shops in our town, because our town is the total wannabe Beverly Hills. But it would pay for, all their crappy projects. They keep on putting, all these enormous trees out that no one wants. I live in the desert. We have to go.
You've all got to promise to behave. I got to hang up my headset for a minute.
Long story short, you should have a pot shop in your city. It would really help your city. Legalize pot.
It's true.
Yep.
In Spain, when they legalized all drugs, the crime rate went down.
Oh, sure.
Does.
Yeah.
You know,
And think about all those officers that it frees up to go after real criminals.
yeah. Oh, right now in LA, like 40-something% of our cops are refusing to get the the vaccine. We're gonna have a shortage real soon. It's gonna be like Mad Max.
Everybody,
Well,
if you need a good job, go to the police academy. They're taking anybody right now.
Oh man, I can't wait until we get all the cholos and gangsters that are officers. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
well, here's
But
the
they-
thing. I think that because of the mandates, we're weeding out a bit of the unhinged people,
Mhm.
in my opinion. And I don't know.
It's a large amount, and I live in an area that's largely Mormon, and a lot of people try to claim religious exemptions, and the government's like, "Get the F
Shut
out,
up.
get out
Shut
of
up, Jur. I put an ish on the end. It's not the same as saying bambooey.
here."
I said it's bamboo-y-ish.
She
I
said,
did not say bambooey.
listen, I've
Sounds like some
tweeted
cartoon.
about it. I've got the receipts. You said bambooey. All right. Yeah, screw you. Listen, I pay attention. Not like these ignorant fuckers. I pay
Hey, Stool.
attention.
Hey,
You
Stool.
said bambooey.
Stool, I love you, bro. But that's not how I said it.
You said
Judy,
bambooey.
Judy,
I
Drambuie.
spaced it.
Judy, you bring up a really good
Drambuie
point.
now. Come on.
He said bambooey.
Like I'm okay to get rid of all the weirdos and all the really angry cops that refuse to if I refuse to do my job, I would get fired, and I work for my family. They would tell me to get the F out
Well,
if I refuse to do my job, If anyone refused to do their job, you'd get fired. But if you're in a position of power, you could be like, "Oh, I'm not going to do this," That's ridiculous.
Well, yeah,
Well, there are
look
people
at
who are
what
supposed
the
to
heck was her
enforce-
name
I'm
that
sorry.
wouldn't issue the marriage licenses in Kentucky?
Oh, I forgot about her. She just
Huh?
looks like she has bad breath. She just looks like she has bad breath.
Yeah,
What did she do?
The lady that
she
refused.
was the one who wouldn't issue the gay people the marriage licenses.
Oh yeah, that
Kentucky.
bitch. Yeah.
What was her name?
Oh,
I
what the
forgot.
fuck? Kim Davis was that?
Yeah, or
That
something
was the
like-
one.
Yeah.
Those people just look bitter. They came out born babies just with the smug face, like just mad. They were born mad. I don't get people like that.
I don't understand. Why does
I don't
Kentucky
know,
have to
man.
have the worst of everything?
Look, I have opinions on everything, and I think that you should just let people live their lives regardless of how you feel. Like, it's none of my business how someone else lives their life, It
Yeah,
just-
moo, definite moo.
I don't know. I try to mind my own business.
I've got too much of my own business to mind, let alone anyone else's. Come on.
I just would never pass a law to control someone's body or, care enough to I don't know. The Republicans are weird. It's weird times we live in.
The Republicans
I will
keep
officially-
people flamed up over emotional things that don't really affect anybody's life, just so that they don't pay attention to the bullshit they're really passing.
Yeah, huh? Oh, there's a kitty.
Otherwise, people might get upset about actual issues like the climate.
Or like there's like I always say, there right now we're having a rubber shortage, which led to a tractor part shortage, which is leading to things are snowballing right now, and this is just the beginning. We're gonna be like anyone who's making fun of the UK, don't hold your breath, because it's gonna happen to us too.
But see, the LGBT community can't afford to buy lobbyists, so they don't have to care about pissing them off.
One of my favorite.
They don't want to be pissing off any industry that might actually wind up costing them money.
I'm really into quotes, and this one quote that I still haven't posted yet. It's, do you know why Democrats suck at slogans? It's because they don't think like Nazis.
Yeah.
What a switch.
I was gonna say, is it
No,
because they can't afford it?
No, it's a quote that I keep on saying, but I haven't put it on Twitter yet. It's in my book of quotes.
Eh,
It was back during the election. Like, I don't know. I still can't. I still don't understand why people win why the Republican Party even has breath right now for as crazy as they're. Do you know? I'm going to say this again. I think it was almost 1,000 people showed up thinking that JFK Jr. was going to come back.
Yeah, you saw that. Oh,
Man,
Really?
give me a space helmet. Give me a space helmet. I'm moving to the moon.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It was at least a few hundred.
How
Jimmy
would he?
Plaza.
Okay, so let me explain. When people
He says, I don't understand.
when people die, they're not coming back. People think they see
The
Tupac
guy's
all the
been
time.
dead for how long? And yet, for some reason, they thought he was going to come back, and that was going to put Trump back in office.
Tupac,
Yeah.
Elvis, JFK.
Hey,
Now
well.
it's Tupac, Elvis, and JFK.
If we're
Look,
close to
look.
the end times, the dead will rise.
Hitler ain't coming back. Jesus died, right? He ain't coming back.
The
Ain't
earth
nobody coming
isn't
back.
hollow. The earth isn't
I'm back with
hollow.
those
Just,
cigarettes.
Hey, I hate to tell you the bad news, but you die, you don't come back.
I couldn't believe it. I'm still in awe. I'm still kind of in awe because I
back
doom
at ya.
scroll. I doom scroll on Twitter, and people are posting it like, "Hey, these idiots really showed up," and there was a large crowd. And I said it yesterday. Imagine if they had guns. Imagine if they all had guns. You know.
Always remember that Dealey Plaza is not as big as you think it is. It's a very small thing, so it looks
Physically small. Yeah.
It
I
looks,
try to.
yeah. You'll think there are a lot of people there. They're not. It's a really tiny place.
I
Dealey
hope so.
Plaza.
Spatial
Also,
perception is real.
Also, can we please go for 5 minutes without talking about Hitler? Please, just for today.
I'm talking about those wackos that were. I'm still shocked that people showed up expecting a dead man to run. And of all people, JFK. I have a list of people that would be really cool if they showed up.
Well, I want to know why they decided that JFK Jr. was going to show up. I didn't know he was a raving Republican.
But that's what batshit crazy smells like.
Yeah.
They're insane. They're just absolutely insane.
Oh,
Absolutely.
God. Okay, so wait, Dale Earnhardt and Kobe Bryant coming back from the dead, too?
God, it's
Yeah,
almost
that's the first I
11.
heard about Dale Earnhardt.
I gotta go to bed. I have to be up early. Nope. I can't stay on here much longer.
I don't know. What is this?
I keep thinking again that you're in Ohio. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Jen. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, good step, I like it.
Good night, B.
Okay, so
Night.
thanks, Purple. I appreciate you having me on, and Will, it was nice laughing with you again,
As
man.
well.
I miss that shit.
As
And
well.
Lady Di, stay awesome. Stool, stay awake. And Junie, Junie, you're beautiful, and I love you.
You take care, honey.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Hashtag
Bye-bye.
Bambooey.
Well, it sounds like B is going to have a great weekend anyway.
He totally said Bambooey.
I'm staunchly independent doorknob head. Like, I'm evidence driven. You have to physically show me something. You can't just say someone's gonna come back. Like, I always jokingly say that like where I'm from, people say they say Tupac all the time. Tupac is the Black Elvis. Because back in the day, everybody would see Elvis everywhere. They just missed him. The truth is, you just missed the person, you know. I was never an Elvis fan, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about Elvis sightings always got to me because it's like we knew full well that there were like 10,000 people in this country making a career out of imitating Elvis. So of course you're going to see him everywhere.
Man, go to Las Vegas. You'll see him right now.
We lost Junie.
Oh, hey, Jenny.
Oh, there you are, Jenny.
Oh, look, it's Jenny Morgan. Yay.
Been wondering where you were at.
The next time I get married, I'm going to do it in Vegas with an Elvis.
They're waiting for you right now.
I know. They
What
want
next
me.
time? What married you the first time, Stool?
Oh,
You know, it's
Yeah.
really funny. I don't think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think all we would need is for Biden to pass a bill prohibiting people from jumping off cliffs, and we would solve the whole QAnon problem.
That's
that was a Lemmings reference.
that was a great video game back in the day.
It was really fucking cool. And you know what, Will? You can still play it right here, right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I loved that game when I was a kid.
I've been trying to get a working copy of Lemmings, but the only one that I've been able to download, there's a bug in it that you can't finish level 10. So I can't get beyond that.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, because they entered the number wrong. On level 10, it says that you need to save 99 lemmings, but it only gives you 50 lemmings to start with.
Oh, that's awful. I get mad at glitches like that.
It's available on your phone. You can get it on Android and Apple. Tim Apple, thank you.
I need it for my desktop.
Oh, you can also get it on your desktop, but I've yet to teach you the ways. But
Like
one day I
did.
will teach you.
Well,
about-
if you could find it and send me a link, I would be very grateful.
I'm about to
Stu has
download
an
it.
incantation that'll do it for you.
My brain was like, do you need another distraction? I have so many weird apps on here. I have the hockey app, the Word Connect app, ESPN, because they privatized hockey. So now I have to pay to watch hockey.
What?
Jenny.
Yes, they've I have to pay to even watch my hometown now. Or have a specific or have
Will?
Spectrum. Yeah.
If you want to watch your hometown, there's a thing called a window. Just pull your curtains open.
My hometown team. I'm sorry.
That's what Bill Gates wants you to think. Don't fall for it.
I basically had to pay money to watch certain away games that my hockey team is playing. And it adds up to like $75 at the end of the year. So but I get to watch all the hockey games that are on TV.
Until you live in a state where water can actually freeze outside, you should only be watching away games.
You know what the funny thing is that we have a ton of ice rinks here. People love ice skating in Southern California.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
you
then
guys
there's
don't
the
have any
indoor ice
water.
rinks.
No, we don't. No, not at all. We steal it from Northern California, and
Yes, you
Nestle.
do.
And
Yes.
Nestle stole it from them. You know, it's really funny. We had all these. Hey, Doc. We had all these water mandates and restrictions and everything, where you could only water on certain days. You could only do your laundry on certain days, and it kind of just went away. So I don't know.
Well, did they call it off after the floods?
Shouldn't have.
I don't know, but we were in a drought for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For at least 6 of it, they were telling us like you can only water on this day, you can only do this on this day. It just became a part of life. And now it got so bad. One of our neighbors called this city on another, and it became like the person got shunned for ratting. Never rat against your tribe.
Has it snowed yet over there?
In Southern California?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
snows in Southern California.
It snowed in 1989.
Yeah.
And that was the last time we had
Damn it,
real
that was more
snow.
recent.
It hailed. It snowed in Compton and it got on the news.
I'm thinking if Texas was able to get some snow, I'm sure you guys would be able to.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be burning snowballs with lighters and saying that snow doesn't melt. Because for as much as I've smoked it away, I got a decent education from my school system as a child. I was so disappointed when people in Texas, I was like, when they were like lighting snowballs and seeing it, oh, it doesn't melt, and I'm like, oh, no one ever watched Mr. Wizard as kids? Did you guys like Come on, that's basic science. It's literally turning in on itself.
Can
Now,
you
what were they calling it?
They were
They
saying
were
this.
claiming it was like styrofoam or something.
Yeah, they were saying
something?
the fake was. They said the snow was fake.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
even
tell
see
you,
me-
if you put a lighter to styrofoam, you would know it. That shit smells horrid.
And it goes up
Mhm.
instantly
yeah.
too.
Yeah, but can you even see Mr. Wizard anymore? I used to love Mr. Wizard.
Me
but-
too. Me too. That was my show. I'm sure it's on the tubes. So what happens on YouTube, there's copyright strikes everywhere. Someone will put a show up. If it gets too many comments or becomes really popular, YouTube takes it down. Like I
Yeah.
watched the entire series of Lex. It's an old sci-fi show that was on HBO or Cinemax back in the day.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of that. That a channel will pop up and it'll put like all the episodes of a show, and it's like, yeah, just until it's discovered.
Exactly. And I'm an unapologetically I'm a Blake 7 fan, and every time people like me find it, the channel gets taken down because we go looking for Blake 7 and we find it and we'll watch it over and over and over again,
Well, what you do is you go to those sites where you can download the YouTube videos. Yeah, this way you're not clicking their numbers up every time you watch it, and you've got it at home.
I was thinking about doing that on my channel, but I don't want to get my channel taken down because I had Earth Final Conflict. It was a Gene Roddenberry series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
you've got
read
to
a-
make sure you've got a disposable channel for that kind of thing.
They gave me the option. They were like, take it down or we take you down.
Oh.
And I'm
Good
like,
night,
"Okay,
Mr. Shadow Kitty.
Have a good night.
Kitty, you take care, huh?
have a good night." And I took it
See you
down.
Sunday, I hope.
The same with Blake 7 too. I had Blake 7 on my channel too. I had weird playlists because I want to share the things I love with people, I think
there's one guy who basically makes his living that way. He collects the old coverage of Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo flights.
oh wow.
And puts it up on his channel. He's called, there are two of them. There's Lunar Module 5 and there's Zelko. And they occasionally get the stuff taken down. And it's weird the way YouTube will take down just one installment in the middle of a series. But I guess whatever gets watched a lot. And Dummy over here, some of them she didn't download all of them.
It's
But I mean,
whatever
this is
gets
stuff I
reported.
remember watching when I was a kid.
I learned that lesson because there were certain YouTube channels that literally helped me out through the pandemic because I was sitting here trying not to watch the news, trying to, because things got really bad in 2020.
Well, when I was living up in Michigan, the first 2 years I was up there, I was way out in the sticks. There was no television signal. I couldn't get internet out there. So all I could do was go into town in the evenings and sit somewhere that I could get a Wi-Fi connection and download a bunch of episodes of TV shows into my laptop so I could take them home and watch them.
Dayu Korostu.
I learned that back in the internet cafe days. When I lived in Portland, I didn't have an internet connection, but I learned to always live near like a bookstore or a coffee shop because they're constantly, permeating Wi-Fi.
Well,
Sounds
when I
like
was
a lot of
homeless in New
Alabama.
York, I used to go and sit in the library courtyard after they had closed because the Wi-Fi would still be active.
So,
And apparently a couple other people caught on, and it wound up that most nights there was a group of 5 or 6 of us there, all with our laptops, and never spoke, just kind of nodded at each other.
this is 20 years ago when I was homeless. I was charging my phone, the old Motorola, the old brick, and a security guard got so mad he tried to fight me, and he told me I was stealing electricity. But people hate the homeless. People hate the homeless. So
Yeah, they just want any excuse to move you on.
Oh yeah, like and And in LA, at the public libraries, they have beautiful parks, and homeless people sit there and they mind their own business. I still to this day, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's because I participated in it. Like, I think there should be places for people to go. I learned so much at the Richard Riordan Library. It's not even funny. I would go down to the basement because all the history books are in the very bottom of the LA library, and no one cares because no one wants to learn history, I guess. But I learned a lot down, at the library.
Well, as a kid, I used to go to the library after school just because it was someplace that I could be safe. So
when I was in high school, I went to my high school. It literally advertised. It was the first high school to have internet. It was like my senior year, but it was, it was crappy, the crappy AOL dial-up.
Well, I remember those days.
That was the mid 90s where I would literally wait to get those discs, 2 free hours, 3, and then when the internet got better, they'd give you 10 hours.
What Doorknob has said here, history is foundational, thus it's found in the basement. Funny thing about that, where I finished high school in Michigan, the public library was literally a room in the basement of the courthouse.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Sounds like the public library here in North Versailles. Yeah, I think my own library is larger than the town library here.
Still to this day, Portland, Oregon, in downtown Portland, I think it's Multnomah. I get my counties mixed up, but they have the most beautiful public library. You walk upstairs, it's so beautiful.
You know what was really disgusting though was this town had the library as one room of the courthouse. The next town over had a Carnegie library.
Ooh.
That the Carnegie Foundation had donated an entire library to the town. The town decided they could not afford to upkeep the library. They closed it down and they burned most of the books.
Ow!
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
when the
God,
library in the next town, less than 10 miles over, could have used all that.
So
Absolutely.
no joke. I'm literally one of those people that people call when libraries or stores close. When there was a library that closed in LA, they had books for $1. I went crazy. If you saw how many books I own, you would laugh at me. And I do donate them, especially like to the ranch because people love reading in general.
Living with my fiance, about every 3 or 4 months, I was building another bookshelf. We got to the point that she decided to have me dismantle the dining room table and get rid of the chairs so that we could turn it into a library area because she decided we didn't need a dining table as much as she needed more books.
Yep.
It's really funny. I'm trying not to move this into my kitchen because I have what I call my Bruce Wayne table. With the piece in the middle, it's a 7-foot table, and it's perfect for sewing. But like, I want to keep my house a house because I promised myself I'd, for the kid, I wouldn't have the total single dad house. Maybe I should move that table in here.
Actually, my sophomore year in high school, well, I always hung out at the library anyway. My sophomore year in high school, I just discovered that the door to the AV room was broken. So I figured out how I could pop it open even when it was locked. And I went in there. Originally, I wanted to use an overhead projector, but, it's like I got frustrated because it wouldn't focus right. So then I was like cleaning it and tuning it up. And, I wound up hanging out there and I wound up like cleaning and maintaining the equipment. So everybody thought I belonged there, but no one had ever known how I got there.
I was much braver when I was in my 20s. I got to explore the old LA underground that way. They had a line of hard hats. You know, I was a hobo. I had my backpack on. But I had on like a denim jacket, denim jeans, and boots. And I just grabbed a hard hat, I put it on, and I walked in. They let me walk right in the old subway. And I got to see the old Los Angeles, where they literally built the city on top of LA.
Doorknob head. What happens in the dark room stays in the dark room, even if it's mostly negative.
I learned a lot actually in photography.
All sorts of things develop in there.
Freaking doorknob head.
You can stand the chemicals. That's actually a good skill to have.
Yeah, well, that's Jenny was saying about spending a lot of time in the dark room. Yeah, if there's anything you want to know about old school photography, Jenny's got it. You know, if you want to go back to the time when they actually had film and had to use all the chemicals.
I wanted a
The
dark
last
room
time
when I
I-
was a kid, and I was never allowed to have one.
My dad was a photographer. He was crazy. He taught photography at the local college, and I'm not kidding you. I don't think he was ever like certified. I think he just went to the college and was like, I'm a photographer, and they let him teach a course.
Yeah, because of digital, like we, even in dentistry, we moved on to digital. But not too long ago, I think 2017 was the last time I've used the dark room for developing X-ray films.
Ah,
Go to the Godless Sewing channel. I'm trying to document all my stupidity. Piece by piece. One day I journaled for over 20 years. One day I will sit down, but it's hard to read sometimes.
well, you know, you've got a stalker. So one of these days you're going to go into the store and you're going to see your autobiography written by Anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah, doorknob head. I remember very fondly. We used to actually have camera shops back in the town where I grew up. I used to spend a lot of time there.
Do you remember the places where you like the camera stores where you drop off your film and you'd come back and they'd have your pictures for you? That was like an event in my day.
Hey,
you
Spooky.
know?
Oh,
What,
yeah.
Are you talking about the kiosks, or are you talking about the brick and mortar stores?
No,
The-
I remember it being the complete stores. It
Yeah.
was like going, yeah.
They had
Yeah,
full.
that ladder is the one I'm talking about. I'm trying to remember the name. Dodds. That was the name of the chain of camera stores. Dodds Camera Shop.
We had this one place out here that was called Egghead. That was like that. I miss the old camera days because I grew up because my dad taught photography. I grew up having a film camera. I always say as a cliche that my entire childhood is on Kodak or Fujifilm.
Yep. Jenny, I know what you mean about having one room in the house. I
Oh,
literally
Jenny.
lived in a closet for several years when I was growing up.
Oh, and Aunt Jur was right. Pal's is a bookstore. The library in downtown Portland is just beautiful. And that's where I picked up a book and learned about Juneteenth. And
Yeah,
sat there for like 4 hours one day.
Aunt Jur's got a link to the Seattle Public Library. She said that's her contribution for the most beautiful libraries.
They care up north.
Yay.
Up north, they care. They care a lot up north. And they do here too, but we have millions of people here in LA, so it's just different. It's just different here.
Yeah, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. In what I was told at the time was the second largest public library in the state. It was second only to the Chicago library system.
Oh wow.
And well, the nice thing is they had a really nice I mean, they had the whole interlibrary loan, but they had kind of a regional subset of that. So that's like I could basically order books from any of the Chicago suburbs and have them the next day.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we've got
awesome.
something like that here in Pittsburgh.
You know, you reminded me when I was a kid, it was like a thing to go to the library. It was a positive thing. I was excited to get library books, you know. Did the internet kill the library? This is one of
A bit.
my old, you know.
I currently have valid library cards for 5 different cities in 3 different states, and I'm not giving any of them up.
Actually, a lot of the times the libraries are used also for just using the computers.
Yeah.
Well, more and more these days, that's a lot of people just use them as a place to have internet access if they don't have it at home.
I did
And that was a big problem with the pandemic, was that, you know, when people were having to homeschool their kids, and the poor families who couldn't afford internet access at home normally would have sent the kids to the library, but all the libraries were closed. And I really think that's why we need to make that be a public utility. And I really think everywhere has to go with the idea of basically having citywide Wi-Fi for all the residents.
I don't know, like a place like where I live, they can afford to do it. They just don't.
You're starting to get that here. I see some signs in the parking lot, the little shopping center that includes Squall Mart across the highway from me. And, you know, public Wi-Fi, no username or password or anything. So I guess the homeless people that live in a tent on the roadside there can get on the network. And no, I'm not being a pain in the arse. I mean, there really are people who live in a tent.
Yeah.
In the scrub.
Same here.
I guess they can have network access, because anymore, if you're not on the network, you're nothing. You can't do anything at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's getting even harder, you know, even just like having food stamps or that.
Yeah.
They pretty much expect you to be able to access your account on the net.
Yeah.
You know, when they were giving out computers, excuse me, during COVID, they, you know, every kid got a computer. And the school system was overwhelmed because they did not realize how many kids did not have internet access at their houses.
Oh, yeah.
They were shocked, you know. So they literally had to give these kids devices that gave them free Wi-Fi, which helped out their families because now the house has Wi-Fi. And like I said, I live in a semi-prosperous area, and they were still shocked on how many children didn't have internet access.
Well, when they closed the schools down here, at least the school that my daughter attended, they handed out like little hotspots, you know, for the kids to take home, if you asked for one. So I guess it depends on the funding on the school. You know, if they're well funded, then they'll have all that extra stuff. And if not, even the libraries, they not rent out, but yeah, they would check out those like little hotspots.
Let me get some more coffee.
I'm one of those people, like in Berkeley, the city is literally it's shooting out free Wi-Fi. That should be everywhere. I know it's a bit too much of Tesla's dream. in America, if you can't tax somebody, they're not going to do it. But they spent millions of dollars to put in a fake palm tree by my house so we could have better Wi-Fi if you pay for it, you know.
Oh, I guess. Speaking of Tesla, we're just waiting on Elon Musk to donate those $1 billion or $1 million, I'm sorry, to solve world hunger.
Huh. Oh. Did he say he was going to do that?
Yeah, if the United Nations can somehow prove that that kind of money will solve the issue, or at least help.
It's kind of like
I'm sure the logistics of it will help.
The thing is, you can throw money at anything. There has to be people who can actually implement the plan and actually get it to the people who need it. This happens all the time because I work for a nonprofit, and you'd be surprised how many people rip off organizations. Like or just flat out are incompetent and don't do their job, you know?
Well, unfortunately, too many, so-called charities wind up with such a big bureaucracy around them that most of the money gets eaten up in administration fees rather than getting to the people it's supposed to help.
Especially when you have a board of directors, or especially the old money charities. And I should shut my mouth because I come from one of those. But it's all, like you said, it's all bureaucracy. But see, what I work for, like, we help mentally disabled adults directly. Like, we actually help them every day. It's different than people that just like say, "Oh, we're gonna help them," and like this lady, Nancy Reagan, had one of the largest "Just Say No" campaigns on earth. Just say no to drugs. And in the end, it just came to be a giant building on Wilshire Boulevard here in Los Angeles, where she was just collecting money.
Mm.
And they really weren't doing much for anybody after a while. But people were still
that whole
money.
Campaign never acknowledged the reality of the kids on the street.
And the 80s and the 90s were a different time, because the war on drugs was just to put brown people in jail,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was just, you know what? Even if you take out the people of color, it was to put poor people in jail. Because even here in where I live, if you're poor, you're probably going to end up in jail. It's just a sad fact.
I look at all the people in my school that at least are either potheads or have used some sort of drug or alcohol. I don't think that their program really helped.
Yeah.
Well, not my generation. We were hippies.
Well, and who's really opposing legalizing marijuana is because it would undercut the profits of the private prison system.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It would so seriously cut down on the number of people incarcerated that they might not be able to make a profit anymore.
Mm-hmm. I still think that's insane that people get jail time for pot. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's insane that you have for-profit prisons. I mean, what the fuck is that anyway?
Oh, that makes me shake both my fists, like angry. No, I agree with you, Diana, 100%. In America, that used to be illegal, but we got around it. Like we can't have a police force that's privatized, because then we could just tell them to F off. They're security guards at that point.
Good night, Amable.
One of the reasons that we had a prison system is because the sheriffs are in charge of it, at least in a system like California, or the feds. They have their own system. When you privatize it, it's un-American, because we're supposed to take care of our own citizens. I'm old school. I apologize. When I was younger, we had a semi-working government.
Semi.
Private prisons is scary because they can do anything they want to you. They could, like, I've seen too many movies where people wake up in Siberia and they're fighting a mutant or something.
Yeah. No, the whole concept of private prisons, I really don't see. Well, they got it passed because not enough people paid attention to what the government was doing.
Right.
It should have never been allowed.
That's just crazy to me. Like, still to this day, that gets me going. That and I'm not gonna advertise it too hard, but federal prison officers make a lot of money. So it's not like they're, the enticement isn't there.
Oh yeah, they make good money because they pay the inmates such a tiny wage compared to what they charge the companies for the services.
Making driver's license plates.
They still do that?
Not here anymore. Because it's all...
Actually, AT&T runs several of their call centers out of federal prisons.
Oh, Jesus.
What? That explains a lot. People get hard with me on the phone. That explains a lot. That last guy. Does Apple run their thing through private prisons?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't know whether or not they're cheaper to run, but again, government and bureaucracy tends to run up the price of things in ways it doesn't need to.
Yeah, huh?
again, like even though your 13th Amendment is suspended technically when you're arrested, you still have rights.
Yeah, Autistic Page says in Colorado they still make license plates.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I remember that being, like the stereotype thing when I was growing up. It was
Crazy.
always the punchline to the jokes about prison was making license plate.
That was the threat when I was a kid. They're like, go to school, you're gonna end up making license plates.
Yep. I heard that when I was growing up.
Oh, damn. For pennies by the hour.
That was a real threat when I was a kid. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, well,
No,
I'm gonna get to bed, everybody.
It was great seeing you.
Okay,
Junie.
Junie,
Well,
you got
good
anything
to
you
have
want to
you
plug
here.
before you go?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm just continuing on with my videos, and I'll be continuing on making some more artwork for Cirrus, and because he just finished his subathon.
Yep.
What today?
He was doing that subathon thing, right?
Yeah, we almost kept him for another 7 hours, and decided to pull the plug.
Kill him?
Yeah.
Everybody go subscribe to Junie the Apostate.
So I guess since it's November, the scary stories are wrapped up for the year, huh?
I got at least 2
Awesome.
more. I just trying to finish up the editing, and then
Oh, okay.
I'll probably either release it tomorrow or next Friday. Because I'd like to at least show the finished, or at least the draft before publishing it to the original senders of these stories. And then you saw my half functioning avatar earlier, so I'm hoping to make one for you, Purple, by the end of this year.
Well, that's sweet, but I know you've got a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, including school.
Yeah. I mean,
Alright,
I've got projects I'd like you to do, but I don't have anything to offer you for them, and I know they take a lot of time.
Oh, I mean, I do it just for fun. Like, even when I did artwork for a thumbnail for Cirrus, he's like, "Are you sure you want like you're okay with me getting this?" Because I'm he's used to commissioning.
Yeah.
But I said, I just do this for the fun of it, and I
Okay,
think
well-
I prefer more of the recognition than anything.
Well, like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you've got work and school and doing your own channel.
Yeah, but it's okay. Pretty much it was like whenever I get the chance.
Okay.
And if anybody's
Okay, well,
like,
you go get some rest then.
absolutely, and like I think I'll put it somewhere in either one of my pages. If anybody wants to request anything, I'll just put like a requests open or something like that versus saying commissions open.
I
That's
had
all.
to go.
No.
Oh,
Okay, and I got to pull Junie's links here, but the links of everyone who appears will always be in the descriptions of all my chats. So if
So you
anybody
know where
wants
to
to
hunt us
contact
down.
Junie about some artwork, you can go and look in there after this post.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, everyone.
have a good night, my friend.
You too. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, boy.
Be.
I listen to a lot of soul music like Shalimar and a lot of like early 80s and late 70s. Like, I like happy music, So I have disco music stuck in my head right now because I was rocking out before the stream.
You talk about soul music. I think Motown. Okay, I'm stuck in the past.
I'm obsessed with like Shalimar right now, Midnight. I'm on this really weird 1982 kick like that was the year that Eye of the Tiger came out. Shalimar, just it was an explosion of music. It was just a good year for music. I'm really eclectic when it comes to music. I'm all over the place. Like I listen to Marty Robbins. I'm all over the place when it comes to music.
Well, Jenny
wants to see the pics of the electric car you were talking about yesterday.
Oh, it's in my video. Go to the Godless Sewing channel. It's in my, let me see if it's in my latest video. But there's a point where I'm standing there and I'm yeah, it's in my latest video.
Okay. And we're losing Doorknob Head.
Take care, Doorknob.
Have a great night.
Love ya.
Good night.
But there's a point where I'm like, oh, you should never get rid of old things. Literally behind me is that thing all dusty. I need to clean it off. I'm probably gonna go. I need to go.
It would be cool if you could, dust it off and make a little video of you driving it around.
I will. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons we let it sit there is because that was like my dad's pride and joy. He called it the Pope Mobile. He loved to like show it off to people, and it's like it's one of those things, it's just kind of got old and dusty.
Well, that's what the old lead acid batteries.
Oh yeah.
So you really should drive it around once in a while and keep those charged up, or it'll damage the batteries really bad.
Yeah, that's true. The first thing, one of the reasons I stuttered, because when you said that, my brain was like, I'll just replace all the batteries. But
yeah.
Well, I expect that's probably got a carriage of like 20 batteries in it.
I have to look under the carriage. It's been a while, but it's something outrageous because you plug it into the wall.
Yeah.
It was considered efficient at the time, but we're talking about like,
I'm just thinking, the battery
ago.
technology, like the 80s or 90s, what it would take just to have that thing running at 20 miles an hour and have any distance out of it.
I have to look it up. It's a Ford too. It's a Ford something. But one of the reasons we call it the Pope Mobile because it's all windshield. It's just it's a 4-seater fancy golf cart.
It sounds like the kind of thing a museum somewhere should be interested in.
When I went to Mexico, I was shocked on how they Ford should never claim to be broke because they have a ton of cars in Australia and they own Mexico. And there was all kinds of 3-seaters and all kinds of things that I had never seen before that were in Mexico. So I'm sure it's considered a rare vehicle.
Well, what Chevy has done, since the end of World War II, and as far as I know, they're still doing it now, was that when they tool up the factories for a new type of car, they send all the old ones down to Argentina or Brazil so they can keep manufacturing the 10-year-old cars down there and sell them new.
So we have a joke in Spanish about how there are certain places in Mexico where it looks like a Ford commercial from 1996 because there is nothing but 90s trucks there.
Yep.
It's so true. It's so true. And there's massive tire factories on the other side of the border.
There we go.
Of the law.
Jenny says you could sell it to Jay Leno for lots of money.
Jay Leno. You know what? Jay Leno probably would. If it's rare, Jay Leno would totally take it.
Oh yeah, if it's functional, he probably would.
That's actually probably feasible. If I sent him a picture of it and he didn't have one, he'd probably buy it off of me.
Yeah, he's got his own private car museum there.
I recently sold one of my sewing machines for an outrageous price. I didn't even think they were worth that much. But my dad used to always say, find a fanatic and give him a high price.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I see things at the thrift store at times that I think might be worth money, but I'm not sure. And I don't want to step outside the area I know. I know about some certain collectible toys and that. And
So
sometimes you can, find something good that you can sell for a hell of a lot more than you pay for it.
and also you have to be willing to store it. I came up on thousands of comic books. Okay. I sold an entire run of The Amazing Spider-Man. I made a ton of money. This was 6 years ago. Okay. No, oh my gosh, this was almost 8 or 9 years ago. I made a bunch of money. I bought the rights to a foreclosed house. I still have like 900 comic books that didn't sell.
Yep.
So you have to have the place to be able to store them properly, without damaging what you're going to sell.
Well, when I was in St. Paul, I found a vintage Transformer that I bought for like $2.80. And I didn't even do anything to it. I literally just dusted it off. I didn't even really properly clean it. And I auctioned it off on eBay and got nearly $50.
That's what I'm saying. I do that all day long on eBay and all those sites. You'll like I always say, find a fanatic. I've gotten price on these Singer sewing machines because people are like, oh, my mom had one, or
Yep.
and they're willing to pay.
Oh yeah,
anything.
especially if it's got some nostalgia to it.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
that's what I found. And if you're selling things to collectors or on eBay, it really doesn't matter if what you're selling is a piece of shit if you've got a good story to go with it.
And now, like, I'm in a Facebook group where, like, I now have a reputation because I got put in this group and they're like, you have to own at least 2 or more sewing machines. And I was like, I hope you guys are ready to get photo bombed. And so I just started posting all my sewing machines in the group. But some guy bought a sewing machine off of me in that group. So you never know.
Okay. I unfortunately need to wrap this up. We've been going about 2.5 hours. And I have an appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning, which I never got around to doing the paperwork for. Huh? What did you say?
Yeah, I have one at 10 something in the morning too.
Yeah. Well, I've got an appointment to be recertified, and I haven't finished doing the paperwork for it. So I've still got.
Well, I hope you have better luck than I have.
Yeah, I got a big packet of forms to fill out, and I've got to dig through my lockbox to try and find all the BS that they're asking for.
Because this piece of shit wants my 1040 from last year, and she knows that I have not had to file a 1040 for 30 years.
Oh, I hate taxes.
Yeah, that's one part of it. I'm not sure how this is going to work out because in October, for the first time ever, I took a payout from Patreon. So I need to report that. And I don't know if that's going to cause problems explaining to them that, this isn't going to be a regular thing. It took me 2.5 years to get enough money to make it worth drawing it out.
Oh, count on it causing a problem. I mean, really, just count on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've dealt with the offices enough that, So, yeah, I got to go through all that stuff for the Social Security, and always lots of fun with them. Okay, so anyway, Diana, what you got coming up? Sunday and Tuesday? Anything?
Sunday, Tuesday, yeah. And eventually, if I get some time, I want to turn the camera on my work table and repair a laptop. So I want to film that and put that up. And maybe some geek out there will actually like to watch that bullshit. And then I'll keep everybody apprised of what's happening medically and everything. And just take it from there. Yay.
Awesome.
Okay, Will.
Let me take a deep breath. I'm Godless Sewing from the Godless Sewing channel. Go subscribe to the Godless Sewing channel. And I'm making a video right now on, I'm still fighting with the serger. But like I said yesterday, I found the VHS tape to it. And it's awesome. It's so 1990s. It's worth making a video about it. So be looking out for that. When I get off my duff, I'm going to make it. And life's too short to be angry and hold grudges. So be nice to people. And I don't know why I'm pointing, but find someone, be nice to them, and wear a mask. For people like me who will just disappear if I get the plague.
Yep. Yeah, I'm always concerned about bringing something back home because some of her medications can leave Sloth Girl with a compromised immune system.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't I have a low immune system, so I catch a cold if someone doesn't wash their hands and touches a door or something.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm good. Even if I got the COVID, I'd probably recover all right. It wouldn't be that bad for me, but it could kill her.
Exactly.
And it isn't like there's some way I can quarantine and not see her for 2 weeks. That just, we can't function like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. So wear a mask, damn it. I'll make you one.
Okay.
Send me your address. I'll make you one if you refuse to wear a mask. I'll make you a fancy one.
Well, I will be back here Wednesday at noon and Thursday at 10 p.m. next week, Central Time. And I will be on movie night on Friday night. I may wind up hosting movie night Friday night, actually.
Awesome.
Oh, no.
Me and Brooke will be co-hosting.
Oh, my.
So, and of course, the Shills Pub Chat on Friday. And the regular Shills show on Saturday. And special thing this week, Saturday at 1 p.m. Central, Phoebe Rose is going to be interviewing me about my transition.
Awesome.
So
yeah, this Saturday at 1 o'clock, Phoebe Rose Transition Stories.
Awesome.
So with that, I would like to thank all my Patreon supporters. Junie the Apostate, who is here, who is sending me a bit of money each month and did my avatar and just really helping my channel in every possible way she can. Vonrick, Ox in the side chat here, who's been helping moderating things. Robert X, Lavender Lady here, of course.
Who the hell is that?
X from the Utah Outcast. And Greg Hartwick, who is not only sending me money every month, but sent me a nice little present from my Amazon wish list. An electrical tester that can test USB devices.
Yay.
Ooh.
So with that, thank you, everyone. And everybody try to get some good rest.
Have
Have a good night.
Night, night all.